I don't understand the question.
You would not support the murder of a small child, right? No one would. No civilized person would. Why do we support the taking of a life of a child right before they're delivered?
No civilized person should support forced pregnancy.
Does abortion take the life of something that's alive?
No one should be forced to remain pregnant against their will.
When you dismember something in the womb, is that a human being or not? It's a living being, yes or no?
I am here to talk about medical care.
Yes, this is a direct question about medical care, ma'am. You positioned yourself as an expert on the issue. Are we taking a life or not? Is it a life, yes or no?
What you are about to watch is a Democratic witness sit in front of the United States Congress and refuse, flat out refuse, to answer one of the simplest moral questions a human being can be asked. A pro-abortion activist caught between her extremist ideology and the basic human decency the American people still possess. A Republican congressman cornered the radical abortion lobby in a trap they built for themselves, because when you support abortion at any time, for any reason, all the way up to the moment of birth, you cannot answer basic questions about life and death without exposing exactly how radical you truly are. Watch as these witnesses dodge, deflect, and fail every moral test put in front of them. Watch as the pro-abortion position crumbles under the gentlest scrutiny. Like this video right now, subscribe if you're new, and do not leave before the end, because what you are about to see will shake you to your core.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I join Mr. Roy, Mr. Johnson of Louisiana, and Ranking Member Jordan in expressing my regret that Ms. Foster is not here to elaborate upon her remarks regarding additional options for women who find themselves with an unplanned pregnancy. I regret that she's not here to speak to the offerings of the thousands of resource centers across this United States. And I regret that she's not here to further elaborate and emphasize that life is not frivolous. But she's not here. So with that, Mr. Chair, I yield the balance of my time to Mr. Johnson from Louisiana.
I thank the gentleman from Oregon. Ms. Pinheiro, you are a board member of the Central Florida Women's Emergency Fund, which strongly supports legalized abortion, right?
That is incorrect.
Okay, what does that organization do?
I'm the co-executive director of Florida Access Network.
Okay, well, our hearing outline said other. So the Action Network strongly supports legalized abortion, right?
Correct.
And help me understand the position of your organization. These are simple yes or no questions. Is it okay to murder a 10-year-old child?
No one should be forced to remain pregnant if they don't want to.
Is it okay to murder a 10-year-old child? Yes or no?
I am deeply offended that you would call me a murderer.
I'm not calling you a murderer, ma'am. I'm asking you a question. Is it okay to murder a 10-year-old child? This is about your organization's position. Would they say yes or no?
My organization's position is that no one should be forced to remain pregnant if they don't want to, and any abortion restrictions are...
Okay. Let me answer the question for you. I'm assuming that you do not advocate for the murder of children. Okay. What about a toddler? I assume you would say it's not okay to murder a toddler either, a 2-year-old. What about a newborn? Let me ask you this, the position of the organization. Are you for partial birth abortion? Is that the position of the organization? Would you support that?
What my organization is for is to support the people who need abortion care, who are lied to when they are sent to alleged pregnancy resource centers that lie to patients and tell them...
Would that apply to a woman who is 9 months pregnant?
I disagree with the premise of your question.
Would you support the abortion of a late-term unborn child?
Anybody should have the right to have an abortion at any time and for any reason.
That's what I need. So here's the thing. I'm just trying to understand the logical fallacy. So if we would not support, and I mean this sincerely, and this is not for you personally, I'm talking about the organization. You support an advocacy organization. If it is not okay to take the life of a small child outside the womb, why is it okay to take the life of a small child 9 inches up the birth canal, inside the womb? What is the distinction? Help me understand the distinction of that.
I don't understand the question. I don't understand the question.
You would not support the murder of a small child, right? No one would. No civilized person would. Why do we support the taking of a life of a child right before they're delivered?
No civilized person should support forced pregnancy.
Does abortion take the life of something that's alive?
No one should be forced to remain pregnant against their will.
Ma'am, you're not answering my questions. Let me ask the doctor on this screen. Is it okay, or let me ask you this, does abortion kill something that's alive, take the life of something that's alive?
Sir, the way that you're asking these questions actually intentionally invite violence and harassment to both of us, to all of us.
I'm sorry, that is an absurd response. You're a medical doctor. Tell me if if there's an unborn child in the womb or not. Are we killing something that's alive? When you dismember something in the womb, is that a human being or not? It's a living being, yes or no?
I am here to talk about medical care.
Yes, this is a direct question about medical care, ma'am. You positioned yourself as an expert on the issue. Are we taking a life or not? Is it a life, yes or no? Or not? Is it a life, yes or no?
What you are discussing is not the reality of how abortion care is delivered in this country.
If we were in a courtroom, I would say that that's non-responsive. And I think we all know why you don't want to respond to that, because the obvious fact here is that you're taking a human life. It's a small human life. It's a human being. Let me ask you, doctor, should abortion be allowed because of the sex of the preborn child, in your medical opinion?
I do not believe that there should be any restrictions on the bodily autonomy.
All right. So hold on. So if someone gets a pregnancy test and they say it's a little girl and I want a little boy, it's okay to abort that child?
I have never seen a pregnancy test that tells you this.
Would it be okay or not? If someone has an ultrasound, they know we have one sex and they want to abort it, is that okay?
Time of the gentleman has expired. Ms. Garcia.
I'll just note that no one answered the questions. Thank you. Yield back.
What
Ms.
just
Garcia.
happened in that hearing room is one of the most revealing exchanges in recent congressional history, and the media will do everything in their power to make sure you never see it. Representative Johnson asked the simplest possible question. Is it okay to murder a 10-year-old child? That is not a trick question. That is not a gotcha. Every normal human being on planet Earth answers that in half a second. No. Full stop. End of discussion. But the witness couldn't do it. She wouldn't do it. Because the moment she answers that question honestly, the entire intellectual framework of the radical abortion position collapses in on itself. Think about what she actually said. She said, and these are her own words, that anyone should have the right to have an abortion at any time for any reason. Any time. Any reason. 9 months pregnant. Full term. Doesn't matter. That is not a moderate position. That is not a mainstream position. That is an extremist position that most Americans, including most people who consider themselves pro-choice, find absolutely horrifying. And she said it out loud, on the record, in front of Congress. And then when Johnson walked her right to the logical conclusion of her own position, if it is wrong to kill a child outside the womb, what is the moral distinction for a child 9 inches up the birth canal? She had nothing. She said she didn't understand the question. She understood the question perfectly. She just couldn't answer it without exposing the moral bankruptcy at the heart of the movement she represents. The doctor on the screen was even worse. A medical professional, someone bound by an oath to do no harm, refused to say whether abortion takes a human life. She hid behind talking points about medical care and then had the audacity to claim that the questions themselves invite violence. That is a calculated deflection designed to shut down debate by making the questioner the villain. It is a tactic, not an argument. And Johnson called it out perfectly. In a courtroom that answer would be ruled non-responsive, and we all know exactly why. And then the sex-selective abortion question landed like a bomb. If a family finds out they are having a girl and they want a boy, is it okay to abort that child? The witness would not say no. She retreated behind body autonomy. Body autonomy. That is the answer to whether it is acceptable to end a life specifically because of the child's sex. That is where this ideology leads. That is the destination of any time, any reason, no restrictions. Representative Johnson did exactly what Republicans must do in these hearings. He did not grandstand. He did not moralize endlessly. He asked precise, surgical questions and let the witnesses destroy their own position with their own answers. He exposed in real time that the pro-abortion lobby cannot defend their most extreme positions under even the gentlest moral scrutiny, because those positions are indefensible. The American people are not extreme on this issue. Poll after poll shows that the vast majority of Americans support restrictions on late-term abortion. The radical position, any time, any reason, no questions asked, belongs to a fringe movement that has somehow captured the entire Democratic Party. And moments like this hearing are exactly why that needs to be said loudly, clearly, and without apology.